स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोविंद श्री राधे जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज जी की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त श्रीराधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, welcome you all to today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll have a short discussion because I have not had a chance to prepare for the complete section, what I intended to prepare. So we will start with some background. So we saw in the first 3 chapters of this particular canto, Canto 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami, he establishing the superiority of the path of bhakti over all other processes of transcendental realization, including the path of karma, the path of fruitive activities, where he explains, he gives the whole catalogue of the devatas who people desiring material results out of their fruitive activities with immediate benefit, they can worship a specific devata for a given benediction. So similarly, Shukadev Goswami also explains the path of Ashtanga Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And specifically within Jnana Yoga, we saw how the Jnanis, uh, those who are completely devoid of any tendency, mentality for material enjoyment, how they are advised to meditate on the super soul. Whereas those who still have got some vestiges of wanting to enjoy material enjoyment, they are advised to uh, meditate on the Virat Roop, the universal form of the Lord. And we discussed the path of Krama Mukti. That means step by step liberation. How even a yogi meditating on the Virata Rupa, he also gradually has opportunity to elevate himself to various higher planets up to Brahmaloka, and from there on he can graduate or progress to Brahma Jyoti, effulgence of the Lord, and there as well he has opportunity to further perform devotional service and attain to the planets associating with Lord in a personal form. So Krama Mukti plus those who are meditating on Paramatma feature of the Lord, the super soul feature of the Lord, they have opportunity to directly first attain Brahma Jyoti, and from there on they also have opportunity to gradually progress to the personal lokas, the planets where Lord himself resides with his associates. And one of the primary reasons Srimad Bhagavatam gives for Shukadev Goswami to explain this path is because different sages who had assembled in that particular place to support Maharaj Parikshit, not everyone was on the platform of devotional service. There were also the practitioners of the Jnana Marga path, or even the path of fruitive activities, and to convince them of the process of superiority of the process of Bhakti Yoga, Shukadev Goswami explained all these different paths. And the first part of chapter number 4 of Srimad Bhagavatam, it points to how after these detailed elaborate explanations by Shukadev Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit, who Srimad Bhagavatam describes as a Sati devotee, as a chaste devotee of Lord Krishna, and we will shortly discuss why Srimad Bhagavatam does address Maharaj Parikshit as a chaste devotee, loyal devotee of Lord Krishna. His meditation on Lord Krishna, it further became intensified by the answers of Shukadev Goswami. And we also saw at the end of chapter number 3 of Canto 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam, the word that is specifically used is, where is that question, which implies that even those topics, yeah, Hari Katha Udarakaha, Hari Katha Udarakaha. So the sages of Naimisharanya are requesting Suta Goswami to even discuss those topics which would eventually conclude in discussion about Lord Krishna, in conclude in discussing Krishna Katha. So even those topics the sages of Naimisharanya have specifically asked Suta Goswami to describe in detail. So now the discussion of primary and secondary creation that was discussed by Shukadev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, referring to the conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada, is going to be described in next 4 chapters, from chapter number 4 to chapter number 7. So the third section we will take on later for Canto 2 as we proceed. So let us start with one quotation by Srila Prabhupada on this concept of chastity in devotional service. So this particular chapter is again a short chapter relatively, and it has only 25 verses divided across 3 sections. So first section is Suta Goswami giving a hint to the sages about the background of discussion so far between Shukadev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. What was the effect of Shukadev Goswami's answers on Maharaj Parikshit, and giving a prelude to what is coming next. Then text 5 to 10 deal about Maharaj Parikshit's subsequent questions to Shukadev Goswami based on the answers Shukadev Goswami has given to the first two questions by Maharaj Parikshit, which were asked at the end of Canto 1, that what is the topmost duty of people in general and especially for one who is about to die. That was the first question. And second question was what a man should hear about, chant, and remember, and what a man should not hear about, chant, and remember. So these two questions have been answered in detail. Now, a secondary set of questions is presented by Maharaj Parikshit to Shukadev Goswami, and subsequently the chapter will conclude with Shukadev Goswami's prayers to Lord Krishna. So let's go to so this is not exactly from Srila Prabhupada's classes, but it is from Srimad Bhagavatam and Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and from a very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. So there are, just for everybody's understanding and benefit, there are few devotees in ISKCON, like different disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they inherited and got inspired by different aspects of his personality. Say, for example, few devotees like His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj, they have taken the mood of Srila Prabhupada in terms of building major projects for International Society for Krishna Consciousness, say the headquarter in Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada personally gave that responsibility to Maharaj to oversee the fulfillment of this very important project, which was dear to Srila Prabhupada. Then Jayapataka Swami Maharaj also specifically took the mood of Srila Prabhupada in terms of congregational preaching. So Maharaj worldwide established the programs called Bhakti Vraksha, how the Grahasthas, not only just the temples, but the Grahasthas at their level as a householder can also preach to the householders in a homely setup. So this program has also been extremely successful across the globe. So this is one part of Srila Prabhupada's mood that Maharaj inherited. Similarly, other glorious disciples of Srila Prabhupada, say for example, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he, while working in a very high corporate position during his Grahastha ashram, Maharaj was still very dedicated to his spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. So much so that Maharaj used to hand over his salary to the spiritual master, and Srila Prabhupada in turn would give him whatever was required for maintaining his household. He was so dedicated. And Lilamrut, different places we find, every time Gopal Krishna Maharaj, later on, he took sannyas and became Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Previously, he was a Grahastha. Whenever he used to come to visit Srila Prabhupada, Maharaj used to bring a newly published book of Srila Prabhupada. So he was handed over a very major responsibility in Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust in publishing Srila Prabhupada's books, and also in constructing big temples. So Maharaj personally oversaw the fulfillment of so many projects of ISKCON in Delhi, national capital, and also in book distribution. ISKCON Delhi temple is one of the uh, in the forefront of book distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books. So this was the mood. Similarly, other disciples, say for example, Loknath Swami Maharaj, he took the mood of Srila Prabhupada in preaching in the countryside. So Maharaj uh, visits so many uh, villages and all, does preaching there. Also, Maharaj is the Padayatra minister for International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and also he is very talented by Krishna's grace in singing sweet melodious kirtans. So many of Maharaj's disciples, they also are carrying forward that mood. And one of Maharaj's disciple, Loknath Swami Maharaj disciple, is the minister of Kirtan ministry in ISKCON. So we see so many devotees have taken forward different moods of Srila Prabhupada. So similarly, there are few devotees like His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, or uh, His Holiness Radha Govinda Swami Maharaj, who are very well known for their taste in relishing Srimad Bhagavatam and preaching Srimad Bhagavatam. So this quote I have taken from one of the blocks that is maintained by the disciples of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, explaining this particular point of chastity in devotional service. So we will request some of the devotees to read. Anybody would like to read? Prabhuji's, Mataji's. Usha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada Uvacha, chastity in devotional service. The only way to become attentive is to understand the temporary nature of this material world and the eternal nature of devotional service. For this, Lord Kapila gives a nice way to become attentive in 3.27.21. Number 1, serious discharge of devotional service or Tivra Bhakti. Number 2, hearing about the Lord for a long time. Shruta Sambhrataya Chiram. When we do these two things, we can get attention and consequently get attraction towards the Lord, and then automatically we become chaste towards the Lord. The hearing for a long time makes the soul gets impression about the Lord continuously, and thereby even a hard-hearted fellow will melt in devotional service after hearing for a long time, subject to Lord's mercy on that soul. Just like iron rod put into fire becomes fire itself, in the same way the Tivra Bhakti would invoke our original dormant attention and attraction of the Lord to sprout very quickly. The factual position of the soul is to be naturally attentive and attracted towards the Lord, which is presently covered with the dust of the modes of material nature. These dust would be cleared only by Tivra Bhakti and prolonged hearing about the Supreme Lord. By ignoring the above two, we will definitely not get complete solution to all our material miseries. This fact cannot be denied by us at any point of time. There is no other way to become happy in this material world except with Srimad Bhagavatam or Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So there are also other famous quotations on chastity of devotional service. There is also the famous prayer by Queen Kunti to Lord Krishna. Mataji, you want to recite this prayer and the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.42 Tvai me ananya vishaya matir madhupateya sakrit ratim udvahatad adha gange vaugam udanvati. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you, Mataji. So here, what does the chastity of devotional service mean? Chastity of devotional service means that we are engaged in Lord Krishna's service in a unalloyed manner, in an undiverted manner. Our attention is not diverted to try to fulfill our desires through any other means, including the path of karma or jnana or even worshipping other devatas, just because it apparently seems like a quick fix. So that is the meaning here. Srila Prabhupada as well uses in the purport the word Tivra. Tivra means unalloyed devotional service. That was also one of the questions in today's exam unit test, that when our devotional service to Krishna is unadulterated with any ulterior motive, we just want to worship Krishna, even if it takes time or purification to have our desires fulfilled. And so with this as the background, let us start with the first verse for discussion today, which is text number 1 of chapter 4, which is entitled The Process of Creation. So other devotees, whoever wants to recite, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, please keep your hands raised, and then we will request devotees one by one. All right, Lalita Vinodini Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Should I recite the shloka, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. सूत उवाच
Sut
Sutta
uvacha
uvacha
वैयासकेरिति वचस्
Vaiyasakerithi
vachas
vachas
तत्त्वनिश्चयम् आत्मनः
tatva
Tatvanishchayam
atmanaha
atmanaha
उपधार्यमतिं कृष्णे
upadharyamatim
Upadharyamatim
Krishne
Krishne
औत्तरेयः सतीं व्यधात्
Autareya satim vyadhat.
Vyadha. So before we go to the translation, here Suta Goswami is speaking to the sages of Naimish Aranya. Vaya Saker iti vachas. Vaya Saki is the another name for Shukadev Goswami. So after Shukadev Goswami had answered the initial set of questions by Maharaj Parikshit in this particular manner, how was his answer to Maharaj Parikshit's questions? Tatva Nishchayam Atmanaha, that reinforced the truth. What was the truth? Atmanaha. Atmana refers to both the Atma, the soul, as well as the Supreme Lord. So that re-establishes the position of Supreme Lord and the supremacy of the process of bhakti over everything else. So since his answers reinforce the position of bhakti, they made Shukadev Goswami, not Shukadev Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit. They made Maharaj Parikshit Upadharya Matim Krishna, that he focused his mind and attention on Lord Krishna, who focused Autareya. Autareya means the son of Uttara, Maharaj Parikshit. Why? How he was able to focus his attention on Lord Krishna? Because he was Satim Vyadhat. He was completely chaste and focused and loyal towards his devotion to Lord Krishna. Yes, Mataji, translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation and purport by His Divine Guru Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sutta Goswami said, Maharaja Parikshit, the son of Uttara, after hearing the speeches of Sukadeva Goswami, which were all about the truth of the self, applied his concentration faithfully upon Lord Krishna. Purport. The word Satim is very significant. This means existing and chaste, and both imports are perfectly applicable in the case of Maharaja Parikshit. The whole Vedic adventure is to draw one's attention entirely onto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna without any diversion, as instructed in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Shall we skip and go to patch?
Yeah. What is 15:15, Mataji? Sarvasya Chaham, I believe it is that. Hruti Sannivishto. Mata Smrutir Jnanam Apohanam Cha Vedaischa Sarvair Aham Eva Vedyo Vedyanta Kritved Davideva Cha. Yes, Mataji. And you can read the further highlighted part.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. When he further heard from Srila Sukadeva Goswami that one should worship the Lord only, and no one else, even though full of all desires and desireless, his natural affection for Krishna was strengthened. We have already discussed these topics.
Before we go to the next part, so here let's try to understand why is Maharaj Parikshit is being referred to as Satim or very chaste in his devotional service. So hint is given in the purport that right from his very birth, Maharaj Parikshit, his attention was completely focused on Lord Krishna because Lord Krishna had personally protected him while the child was still within the womb of his mother. So right from his birth, the attention was focused on Lord Krishna. And subsequently, he laid his activities which were all glorious in service to Lord Krishna. And when it came to be the time of his departure, time of his death, by the mercy of Lord Krishna specifically sent Shukadev Goswami to further guide Maharaj Parikshit during his very critical time of his departure and further strengthen his focus and attention towards Lord Krishna. So here it is mentioned, when Maharaj Parikshit further heard from Shukadev Goswami that one should worship the Lord only and no one else, that we saw the famous verse in 2, 3, 10. Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kamo udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. That even if one is full of material desires, has no material desires, or even one who desires liberation, a jnani, everybody should worship Lord Krishna only for the fulfillment of his desires and no one else. Then his means Parikshit Maharaj's natural affection for Krishna was strengthened. We have already discussed these topics. That means Maharaj Parikshit was a devotee focused, his mind totally focused on Lord Krishna right before his birth, during his life, and also at the end of his life. Lord Krishna arranged for another stalwart devotee like Shukadev Goswami to help Maharaj Parikshit maintain his focus and attention on Lord Krishna. So because he was 100% focused right from beginning till the very end of his life, he is being referred to here as Satim, chaste, in his devotional service. We proceed in the purport. Yes, Mataji.
To become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, two things are very much essential, namely having a chance to be born in the family of a devotee and having the blessings of a bona fide spiritual master.
You can continue by the grace.
Yes. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Parikshit Maharaja had both opportunities. He was born in a family of such devotees as the Pandavas, and just to continue the dynasty of Pandavas and show them special favor, the Lord specifically saved Maharaja Parikshit, who later on, by the arrangement of the Lord, was cursed by the boy of a Brahmana and was able to get the association of such a spiritual master as Shukadeva Goswami. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that a fortunate person, by the mercy of a spiritual master and Lord Krishna, achieves the path of devotional service. This was perfectly applicable in the case of Maharaja Parikshit.
Yes. So which verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita is Srila Prabhupada referring to? Prabhuji's, Mataji's, any guess? This is a famous verse.
Krishna Guru Bhakti Lata Bija.
ब्रह्मांडे भ्रमिते को न भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए bhakti lata beach. That means it is mentioned that by the mercy of spiritual master one achieves Krishna, and by the mercy of Lord Krishna one achieves the spiritual master. So both are reciprocal, and we will see one specific example to explain this particular point, that how this happens, how by the mercy of spiritual master one achieves Krishna and vice versa. We will complete the purport. Please proceed, Mataji.
Yes,
by
way of being born in a family of devotees, he automatically came in touch with Krishna, and after being so contacted, he constantly remembered him. Consequently, Lord Krishna gave the king a further chance for development in devotional service by introducing him to Shukadeva Goswami, a stalwart devotee of the Lord with perfect knowledge and self-realization. And by hearing from a bona fide spiritual master, he was perfectly able to concentrate his chaste mind further upon Lord Krishna as a matter of course.
Thank you, Mataji. So in order to see the example, and the slide preparation for this is still in progress, so apologies, I will just describe orally. So an example for this particular concept of how by the mercy of the spiritual master one achieves Lord Krishna and vice versa, we can see in the life of Dhruva Maharaj. That we see Dhruva Maharaj, after he was insulted by his stepmother Suruchi, and when he came crying to his real mother Suniti, she made sure few points, important points for Dhruva Maharaj. First, she made sure that the fire of revenge does not burn in her child's heart by pacifying him by saying that don't think that your stepmother has been harsh. Whatever she spoke was true. That means the stepmother had mentioned that you can sit on your father's lap only if you take birth from my womb. And Suniti said, it is true, my dear child, even if it may seem very harsh, because your father does not like me. So if you were to sit on his father's lap, only way is to get birth from Suruchi's womb. And secondly, when Dhruva Maharaj, he basically, being a Kshatriya, he was hurt and he aspired for a kingdom greater than his great grandfather. That means his father was Maharaj Uttanapat, grandfather was Swayambhuva Manu, and great grandfather was Lord Brahma. So Dhruva Maharaj desired a kingdom even greater than his great grandfather Lord Brahma. Suniti said that, my dear boy, I have heard that so many sages and saints, they have all been able to perfect their lives and fulfill their desires by achieving the favor of Lord Vishnu. And to achieve the favor of Lord Vishnu, they are known to go to the forest and meditate upon the Lord over there. So you can also opt for this particular path to achieve the favor of Lord Vishnu. And she also reassured Dhruva, because he was just a small 5-year-old child, that don't think that in the forest you would lack the love, protection, and care of your mother. She said that Lord can give protection and care to someone which is equivalent to or even better than the protection and care of thousands of mothers. So please don't think, and let me try to search that purport, or it will take few minutes. So she mentioned basically that when no one else is able to pacify one's heart from the burning grief, from the burning suffering, then Lord is able to pacify such devotee. So I request you to seek the favor of such Lord Vishnu, and to get his favor, you can go to the forest. So Suniti was the first guru of Dhruva Maharaj, who guided him on the path of bhakti. And seeing the determination of Dhruva Maharaj to attain his favor, Lord Krishna arranged for Narada Muni to meet Dhruva Maharaj, test his determination, and then guide him further on the path to achieve the darshan of Lord Vishnu. So, by the mercy of Guru Suniti, first Dhruva Maharaj, he got onto the path of achieving Krishna, and by the mercy of Lord Krishna, he subsequently was met with another stalwart devotee of the Lord in the form of Narada Muni. So this is also confirmed in the scriptures, that how both of this is reciprocal by the mercy of Guru. And we can still take this point further, that by the mercy of Narada Muni, Dhruva Maharaj was able to attain the darshan of Lord Vishnu, and then ultimately, because of Dhruva Maharaj becoming himself a stalwart devotee on the path of bhakti, he benefited his first guru Suniti as well. Because of Dhruva Maharaj becoming a pure devotee of the Lord, Suniti herself was able to get into the plane on the way to Vaikuntha. So this is both reciprocal, how one achieves Krishna by the mercy of Guru and vice versa. Is this point clear, Prabhuji's, Mataji's? Hare Krishna. Any question on this particular point? So similarly, Srila Prabhupada mentions, even in the life of Parikshit Maharaj, it was not an accident that Shukadev Goswami came at that particular place at that particular point in time. It was definitely an arrangement, a favor by Lord Krishna to help Maharaj Parikshit hear Srimad Bhagavatam from such a stalwart devotee and focus his attention to prepare himself for at the time of death. So that was, Srimad Bhagavatam mentions Lord's specific arrangement, and as a result, Suta Goswami refers to Maharaj Parikshit as a Satim devotee, as a chaste devotee. So this is a very short discussion, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. So apologies, we couldn't cover more verses. But anybody has any question, comment on this particular point? Is it clear? So we discussed few points. What does chastity in devotional service mean? And how for a sincere devotee, Krishna specifically arranges the coming of Guru in his or her life, and how by the mercy of that stalwart devotee, one is able to achieve Lord Krishna, and by the mercy of Lord Krishna only one achieves Guru in his or her life. Any questions, comments, Prabhuji's, Mataji's on this particular point? Hare Krishna.
On this, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. On the
Yes,
second
Murli.
point
Yes, Prabhu.
of Krishna arranging the Guru or the circumstances coming to that. Probably one example we can think of is Valmiki, because even though he was in a completely, what you can say is a Muda, he was protected, and then he got the message, and then he attained highest freedom of life, isn't it, Prabhuji?
Yes,
Can we
yes,
use it?
Prabhuji. Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. So even this great poet, devotee, Valmiki, when he was a highway robber, he got the mercy, intervention and mercy of Narada Muni. So thank you, Murli Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Any other
Prabhuji,
question?
in this regard, yes,
Ah,
Prabhuji, I have a query. In this regard, like while discussing both the stalwart devotees, Maharishi Valmiki and Dhruva Maharaj. So you said that Dhruva Maharaj, mercy of the Lord Krishna was, by seeing the Dhruva Maharaj's dedication, and then he arranged Narada as his guru. But in case of Maharishi Valmiki, when he was a Vyad or he was
highway
a
robber.
thief that time he did not have any such intention to serve Lord. Still, how come Narad Muni went to him and preached,
See,
unlike Dhruva Maharaj's intention?
yeah, so there are three types of perfected beings. One is sadhana siddha, one is nitya siddha, and third one is krupa siddha. So we have seen intervention of pure devotee in the life of an ordinary person in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. So in fact, Bhagavad Gita purports as well as Srimad Bhagavatam purports mention at many places that just by the intervention of a pure devotee, if one is able to take benefit of that particular opportunity, that is one of the sure shot way of achieving Krishna. For example, just yesterday in Hindi Bhakti Vaibhav, we are currently discussing chapter number 5 from Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam, and where Narada Muni specifically, let me try to open that verse. Yeah. So in this particular verse, while describing his past life, Narad Muni uses the word Kasyaschana. Dasyastu Kasyaschana Veda Vedinam. Kasyaschana Srila Prabhupada translates as certain, means any in the purport Srila Prabhupada uses the word. In the Hindi he says Mahatvahin. That means a very ordinary family, not a significant ones. Let me see what is the... Here he uses the word most insignificant parentage. That means qualification wise, seeing Narada in his previous life being the son of a maid servant was born in a most insignificant parentage, not so great family lineage, but still the Bhakti Vedantas, they granted their mercy upon Narada. And what was that mercy? Opportunity to render them service. So Narada Muni took advantage of that opportunity that was granted and served them and gradually perfected his life. So similarly for Valmiki, there was an intervention by Narada Muni into his life and he took benefit of that intervention by following the instructions of Narada Muni, giving up his sinful life and perfecting his life. So basically, the intervention of a pure devotee can also happen even if the person is the most sinful of the persons. But the greatness of these personalities is they took advantage of it. So both type of devotees, somebody like Parikshit Maharaj, who from birth to death was all through a great devotee, or somebody like Valmiki or Mrugari, who were coming from completely sinful backgrounds, or somebody like Narada Muni in his previous life, who was born in a completely insignificant family, but still he got intervention and took benefit of that. Is that all right, Ananta Jiteshwar Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Now I am in sync with that because Narad Muni met with various asuras and he tried to preach them, but not every asura took the advantage. So, like
Correct.
Valmiki has took the advantage. So it depends upon the person's how he uses the opportunity or misses the opportunity. Very clear,
Correct. Very,
Prabhuji. Thank
very true. So many Asuras, as you mentioned, like including Kamsa. In fact, Narada Muni has all access. So Kamsa and all, they have had interaction, but only few have really taken the benefit of his association by taking to the right path. So thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, is this due to free will, or is this again a plan by God?
It is definitely the right use of the free wills of these persons, including Narada as a Dasi Putra and Valmiki or Mrugari, so on and so forth. So they have rightly used their free will. And it is not that Narada Muni gave them something without logically explaining. So like in case of Mrugari, he logically explained what you are doing. Just try to understand the disastrous results it is creating for you in future. And he could show him his future suffering to Mrugari. And he also had him check with his family members if they are willing to partake of this suffering in future. So both these points, Mrugari got convinced that what Narada Muni was telling was truth. Okay. And similarly, in case of Narada Muni in his previous life, when Bhaktivedanta offered that opportunity, Bhagavatam specifically mentions that Dasiputra was just a 5-year-old boy. And how much a 5-year-old boy can really be qualified to render service? Hardly, not much. But that 5-year-old boy, he took the benefit of that opportunity, served them properly, asked their permission to eat Uchistha and hear from them Krishna Katha, and developed his attraction towards Lord Krishna. So qualification wise, zero qualification, but because of sincerely taking benefit of the mercy of such great souls, all of them achieved perfection. Okay. So all three types of devotees. So right now, what example we are seeing is of a all through devotee like Parikshit Maharaj from beginning to end. And one more thing, whatever three categorizations I just mentioned, don't get confused. Sadhana Siddha, Nitya Siddha, and Krupa Siddhas. So Narada Muni, most of the times he is also referred to as Nitya Siddha. So don't get confused. If he achieved perfection, he became Nitya Siddha by the mercy of those Bhakti Vedantas. At the end of that particular life as Dasiputra, then he achieved his spiritual form and he became so empowered by the Lord with Bhakti Shakti that everywhere he is free, allowed to go anywhere, everywhere. In fact, Bhagavatam mentions him as great as Paramatma in knowing everything that is happening within the universe. So just by the potency of devotional service, he could attain that platform. So both is true. He attained his perfection of his life is true. Secondly, he is being a Nitya Siddha is also true. So don't think of it as contradictory. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Nitya Siddha, Kripa Siddha, and third one, what is
Nitya Siddha, Krupa Siddha, and Sadhana Siddhas.
Sadhana Siddha?
Okay, Sadhana Siddhas means those who perfected through the process of sadhana, like Mrugari and Valmiki, and so on and so forth. Is that all right, Prabhuji's, Mataji's? Can we conclude a short session? I hope you were not disappointed to have a very short discussion. My
No,
apologies.
Prabhuji, it
I
was very
couldn't
nice.
prepare well wholly.
It's okay.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So coming back to Rasarangini Mataji, you can stop the recording. Let me see if I can stop. Where is the option?